Hey everyone. When society tried to comprehend the case of Jeffrey Dahmer, the cannibalistic serial killer convicted of murdering 17 boys and men from 1978 to 1991, criminologists turned to his mother Joyce Dahmer for insight. Did she create an environment that fostered this behavior? Was there anything she could have done differently? Did her own addictions play a role in turning a veritable monster loose? Today, let's know about the tragic life of a mother of a serial killer and how she raised one, Joyce Dahmer. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. This is a true story of Joyce Dahmer, a woman whose story is either tragic or enraging depending on who and what you believe about Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood. Joyce Flint was born on February 7, 1936 in Columbus, Wisconsin. Her parents, Floyd and Lillian, were of German and Norwegian ancestry. She also had a younger brother, Donald, who died in 2011. It's unclear when she got married to Lionel Dahmer, but the two had their first son, Jeffrey Dahmer, on May 21, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. To classify the Dahmer family as an all-American family would be a bit of a misnomer. By Lionel's own admission in his memoir, A Father's Story, the family unit was anything but a happy one. Because Lionel was busy with his own doctoral studies, he was often absent from the Dahmer house. And Joyce Dahmer, according to Lionel, was far from an idle mother. He alleged that she was on prescription drugs while pregnant to Jeffrey and was mentally unstable after she gave birth to him. He also alleged that his now former wife was a hypochondriac who suffered from depression, spent increasing amounts of time in bed, and refused to touch baby Jeffrey for fear of contracting germs and diseases. But Joyce Dahmer had a very different story. In 1993, after Jeffrey's 17 murders had come to light, she gave an interview to MSNBC wherein she challenged the narrative about her son. Despite his father's claims that during Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood he was shy and timid, Joyce claimed that there were no warning signs of what Jeffrey would ultimately become. And she also claimed that after he was sentenced, he became fatalistic about his prospects. On November 28, 1994, a fellow inmate and convicted murderer named Christopher Scarver beat Dahmer to death with a metal bar in the prison bathroom alongside fellow inmate Jesse Anderson. Jeffrey seemed to accept his fate. The same, however, cannot be said for Jeffrey Dahmer's parents, especially his mother, Joyce Dahmer, who was racked with guilt about all her son had done. Joyce Dahmer reportedly spoke to her son at least once a week from prison. After Jeffrey was killed in prison, Joyce Dahmer and her now ex-husband Lionel waged war in court. Joyce wanted her son's brain examined for any possible biological factors tying him to his murderous streak. Lionel, who objected, ultimately won out on his request. Jeffrey was ultimately cremated. As racked with guilt as Joyce was, Jeffrey didn't blame her or his father for the way he was. Carl Wallstorm, a forensic psychiatrist who interviewed and evaluated Dahmer and served as an expert witness in his trial, said that the serial killer had nothing but good things to say about his parents. Whether it was the fault of Jeffrey Dahmer's parents or not, Joyce Dahmer felt guilty enough to attempt suicide. Just months before Jeffrey was killed in prison, Joyce Dahmer attempted to commit suicide via carbon monoxide poisoning. David Dahmer, on the other hand, wanted no part of his brother's notoriety. He changed his name and moved far away from his parents and brother, desperate to escape the legacy that his brother left behind. What few people were aware of, however, was that Joyce Dahmer had moved to the Fresno, California area shortly before her son Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes were uncovered. Contrary to her husband's assertion that she was an extreme germaphobe who dreaded disease, she worked with HIV and AIDS patients at a time when they were considered untouchable and continued to work with him after her son was killed in prison. In fact, when she ultimately died of breast cancer in the year 2000 at the age of 64, Joyce Dahmer's friends and colleagues told that they preferred to remember her for the work she had done with the less fortunate. Gerald Boyle, who was another lawyer of Jeffrey's, believed that despite her son's best efforts to absolve her of responsibility, she carried the guilt of his crimes and the memory of Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood around with her for the remainder of her days. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdies discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.